Waking up in the morning can often feel like a struggle. The alarm goes off and the mind begins to fill with the challenges of the day. It is at this moment that prayer becomes essential. Morning prayer is not just a ritual. It is an act of invoking spiritual strength and divine protection. By dedicating these initial moments of the day to God, we are establishing a solid foundation to face whatever comes our way. The Bible teaches us about the importance of prayer. In Philippians 4:6-7 it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, present your requests to God." This verse emphasizes that prayer should be the first resource, not the last. By putting God first, we acknowledge that He is the source of our spiritual strength. It is a reminder that we are not alone and that we can count on His protection with every step we take. Imagine a morning when you wake up and, instead of being carried away by anxiety, you pause for a moment and turn to God. A simple, "Lord, I need your strength," can be the beginning of something transformative. Prayer does not need to be long or elaborate. Sometimes the simplest words are the most powerful. A sincere heart speaks louder than rehearsed phrases. Stories of people who found strength in prayer are abundant. Think of David, who, before facing Goliath, not only prepared his weapons but also sought God. He knew that his strength did not come from his abilities, but from his faith. When facing the giant, David cried out for divine protection, and with a single stone, put an end to the fear that haunted his people. This trust in God is a lesson for all of us. Morning prayer then becomes a shield. It is as if, with every word, every breath, we are putting on armor. When we ask God to protect us, we not only feel safer, but we also find the courage to face challenges that, without this protection, could seem insurmountable. In everyday life, it is easy to forget this connection. Problems arise, distractions increase, and often prayer is set aside. But the commitment to prayer transforms our approach to difficulties. In 1 Thessalonians 5:17, we are urged to pray without ceasing. This practice teaches us to depend on God in everything, not just when we are in trouble. A practical example can be found in everyday situations. Imagine a stressful day at work. Tasks pile up, and the pressure mounts. Stopping for a moment to pray may seem like a luxury, but it is exactly what we need. By invoking God's spiritual strength, we find clarity amidst the chaos. Prayer reorients us, gives us focus, and helps us make wiser decisions. What happens when we leave God aside? Emotional overload and anxiety set in. Insecurities take over, and instead of moving forward, we become paralyzed. The divine protection we ask for in prayer is not just a barrier against external problems. It also protects us from ourselves, from our fears and limitations. Prayer liberates and strengthens us. The spiritual strength we seek is real and tangible. It is not just an abstract concept, but a daily experience. When we talk to God, we open space for Him to act in our lives. This connection brings peace, even amidst the storm. Psalm 91 is a powerful example of this. It speaks of dwelling in the secret place of the Most High and finding refuge in the shadow of the Almighty. This image is comforting and reminds us that God's protection surrounds us. Life is full of uncertainties, but prayer gives us a point of reference. By starting the day with this willingness to seek spiritual strength in God, we are already taking an important step to face the challenges that will arise. Morning prayer, then, is not just an act of devotion, but an invitation for God to enter every aspect of our lives. The reflection that remains is simple. How have you been starting your mornings? How about dedicating some time to invoke spiritual strength and ask for God's protection over your life? Do not underestimate the power of a sincere prayer. This practice can change the course of your day, bringing clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. With each dawn, the opportunity to connect with God is before you. Take advantage of it. Waking up and feeling the weight of the day ahead is common. But what if, instead of being carried away by anxiety, you decided to open your day with a prayer? Calling on God first is not just an act of faith. It is an invitation to the spiritual strength that can sustain every step you take. Imagine starting your mornings with this connection, seeking divine protection before facing the challenges that may arise. Think of a moment of difficulty, an important decision to be made, a problem at work, a delicate situation at home. The tendency is to rush to find quick solutions, perhaps even getting lost in thoughts and worries. But what happens when you remember that the first call should be to God? Prayer becomes a bridge, a channel that connects you to the sacred. It is in the act of speaking with Him that you find clarity and a strength that does not come from yourself. From this dialogue, you not only express your concerns but also open space for divine wisdom to enter your life. Many still leave prayer as a last resort, almost like a plan B. This can be a mistake. By committing to pray whenever life presents challenges, you transform prayer into a reflection of your daily life. It becomes your first resource, an automatic response that comes from the heart. This not only reinforces your dependence on God, but also creates a healthy habit. Instead of drowning in uncertainties, you rise, seeking the divine protection that extends over all aspects of your life. Imagine a morning when you dedicate a few minutes to connect with God. It does not have to be a complicated ritual. It can be simple. A thank you for the new opportunity to live, a request for protection for you and your family, or even a cry for wisdom in the decisions that need to be made. This moment of prayer is not just a formality. It is a powerful act that activates a spiritual strength that permeates your life. The protection you invoke is not just about physical safety. It is about the peace that floods your soul, the clarity that illuminates your mind, and the strength that helps you face any storm. In practice, this may seem like something small, but its repercussions are great. When you prioritize communication with God, something changes within you. Emotions become more balanced, decisions become clearer, relationships strengthen, life feels fuller, more rewarding. You realize that by making God your priority, the weight of problems diminishes. The protection you asked for manifests in ways you often do not even notice. A day that could have been chaotic transforms into a space for learning and growth. And it is not just about asking. Sometimes prayer is also about listening, opening your heart and mind to receive the answer that God has for you. This requires patience and a willingness to be silent, to allow the divine voice to be heard amidst the noise of everyday life. The spiritual strength you invoke is not a mere wish. It is a reality that can transform your perception and reaction to adversities. Consider the difference it makes to start the day asking for God's protection. By doing so, you clothe yourself in an invisible armor, a protection that goes beyond what the eyes can see. It is as if you are surrounded by an aura of peace and security, capable of facing any challenge that arises. This spiritual strength is a shield that not only protects you, but also guides you in your choices. With each prayer, you become more aware that you are not alone. God is with you, listening, responding, and giving you the necessary support. Visualize a scenario where you apply this practice daily. Mornings become sacred moments where routine meets spirituality. The simple act of praying transforms your perspective on the day. Difficulties do not disappear, but you feel more empowered to face them. When you ask for protection, you affirm that you believe in God's presence in every aspect of your life. This belief reflects in your actions, in your interactions, and even in your way of facing challenges. Each morning prayer is a reminder that you have a powerful support. This divine protection does not mean that problems will not happen, but that you will be prepared to face them head-on. It is an invitation to resilience, to the strength that comes from a deep connection with the Creator. By invoking this spiritual strength, you become not only a plea for help, but also an agent of change. Your presence in the world becomes more significant. Your impact on the people around you becomes deeper. This is the essence of starting the day with a prayer, of putting God first. It is not just a ritual, but a way of life. With each dawn, you have the chance to connect with a force that goes beyond what you can imagine. The protection you seek is already at your disposal. You just need to reach out and call for it. Mornings become not just the beginning of a new day, but an opportunity to renew your spiritual strength and reaffirm God's presence in your life. Waking up in the morning brings the possibility of new beginnings. Upon opening your eyes, the first thing you can do is direct your thoughts to God. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Today is a new day. This initial connection is an invitation for spiritual strength to flow into your life. How can you do this? Take a moment right after waking up. It doesn't take much time, just a few moments to give thanks and seek divine protection. Imagine your morning routine. Instead of rushing into the day's obligations, start with a prayer. It doesn't have to be something elaborate. Something simple and sincere already makes a difference. God, here I am. I need your strength and protection to guide me today. By doing this, you put God first. This practice may seem trivial, but the impact is profound. When you commit to praying daily, a subtle change begins to happen in your mind and heart. Think of everyday situations. When facing a challenge at work, instead of panicking, pause and pray. This pause is not a waste of time. It is an investment in your spiritual strength. With this invocation of divine protection, you become more centered, able to make better decisions. Anxiety decreases, and mental clarity increases. Life seems more balanced when you prioritize this communication with God. And if you are going through a difficult time, that feeling that everything is falling apart, that there is no way out, can be overwhelming. This is when prayer becomes even more essential. Instead of letting despair take over, seek divine protection. A prayer can be a cry for help or a silent plea for strength. The important thing is that you remember that God is always there, ready to listen. This dependence on God is not weakness, it is a wise choice. By holding on to this spiritual strength, you empower yourself to face any storm. Throughout the day, the habit of praying can transform into a constant reminder of God's presence. Think about your routine. When faced with situations that require decisions like a disagreement with a colleague or a personal dilemma, take a moment to invoke divine protection. This practice goes beyond a simple ritual. It is a way of life. When you make God your first call in every situation, peace begins to reign in your heart. And don't forget the small victories. At the end of the day, take some time to reflect on how God's protection and strength have been with you. Thanking for the blessings received, even the simplest ones, reinforces the connection. This becomes a positive cycle. The more you connect, the more spiritual strength you experience. This practice of recognizing moments of divine intervention brings forth gratitude essential for a balanced life. Have you ever found yourself thinking about how things could be different? The truth is that when you put God first, your perspective changes. The difficulties that seemed like mountains become challenges to be overcome. This does not mean that life will be free of problems, but that you will have the strength necessary to face them. Confidence becomes part of your being, and divine protection transforms into a shield around you. Morning prayer doesn't have to be a burden. Think of it as a moment of pause, a breath before diving into the demands of the day. This connection brings a sense of renewal. As you finish your prayer, visualize yourself enveloped in a protection that goes beyond what you can see. Feel this strength in every cell of your body. It is an invitation to live with courage, knowing that God is by your side. And when dark clouds approach, when life tries to knock you down, remember that you are not alone. God's protection is a shield that extends over you. Just call for it. Create this habit of morning prayer and see how your life transforms. The spiritual strength you seek is already within you, and the connection with God is what activates it. Mornings become a sacred space, a moment to recharge. Living this way is an invitation to change. Try making morning prayer a priority. Feel the difference in your life. By invoking spiritual strength and seeking divine protection, each day becomes a new opportunity for growth. What are you waiting for? It is time to take this step and make prayer an essential part of your day. The divine protection and spiritual strength you need are waiting for you.